So I'm Nathan Linder, and I'm a graduate of the Media Lab 2011, and I'm a co-founder of Tulip. It's a small MIT startup focused on digital manufacturing, transforming manufacturing floors as we know them today, bringing them to the internet era. So Tulip is a small startup company out of MIT, and we're focused on helping manufacturing organization transform their process and basically create digital shop floors, which means three things. We enable people to create what we call shop floor apps, much like the apps on your phone, that allow you to access data and information and make decisions. Those apps are helping to guide people through manufacturing process while connecting to sensors and machines on the floors. And those in turn provide a host of analytics and information that can be used by anybody who is involved in the manufacturing process, and basically implement what usually people call digital transformation, which is a very abstract term that we're actually helping to realize. So I was a kid who grew up in the 90s with computers all around him, originally from Israel. Kind of started my career after my service in kind of big companies like Sun Microsystems and Samsung. Got exposed to product development, and by training I'm a software engineer, embedded engineering type, and I was always attracted to how things are being made. I moved to the U.S. Following my wife, who is actually another MIT alum, went to Sloan, and decided that I want to try to get into MIT, but I had this little block of time in between the admission cycles. So I got introduced to Rod Brooks, who is another great MIT person we all know, and he fascinated me with his vision for Rethink Robotics. Back then it was called Heartland, and we started working on building robots that work with people on production lines, which was a really awesome problem to kind of explore. And then I got into MIT and decided that there's always time to do companies, but not always time to do MIT, so I kind of went to pursue my degree at the Media Lab, working with Professor Paddy Maas at the Fluid Interfaces group. And I thought it would be a good pit stop, only in the process, the Media Lab propels you to rebel. And with Joe Ito at the helm, it was deploy or die. And so we did that and launched Formlabs, which is a 3D printing company. So that was another very deep exploration into advanced manufacturing, additive manufacturing company that built desktop stereolithography machines at professional grade, yet at very attainable cost. That went pretty well, and through that, working on my PhD as well, was working on fascinating interface problems that happened to interest a bunch of industrial customers or sponsors of the lab, and they basically started drawing me to their factories when myself and my research partner, Oni Kubat, started to spend a lot of time on manufacturing floors. We just saw a much bigger problem at the manufacturing floor, at the shop floor level, where you have, on one hand, very old back-end systems, basically antiquated IT, and on the other hand, you have very sophisticated automation, so robotics and machine vision type systems, and all sorts of very sophisticated control equipment. And in the middle, there are people who are supposed to kind of connect those two very sophisticated pieces of technology, and they're using pen and paper basically, which is mind-boggling. And they're kind of walking around with a supercomputer in their pocket, a smartphone, and it's so accessible and we all know how to use it, but when they come to work on the production line, whether they're a process engineer, quality engineer, or just the operator doing something, they're just kind of told not to use it. So they don't communicate the way we take for granted. They don't access information the way we take for granted, etc. And to solve that, you need to build a new type of platform, and that's what Tulip is. It's essentially a manufacturing operating system for the shop floor, designed for this internet-driven era. So, and that's what we're building.